Well, Howard, it's nice to see you again. Gosh, I think the last time I talked to you was in London Heathrow Airport. Boy, how times change.
Boy, as
So,
have times changed just in a couple of weeks, Rod. It's
pretty much. So
interesting
you
times.
so you lead KPMG's US tax practice in London. Tell me, with everything that's going on, what's going on in London today?
Well, it's hard to believe that 2 months ago we were involved and spending probably half of our time doing due diligence, helping companies look at acquisitions, structuring acquisitions. That work has all but dried up for now. We're still in touch with our clients who are still very busy, but doing different things. It isn't around acquisition and structuring right now. We spent a great deal of time over the last couple of weeks helping companies with their liquidity issues, helping them access loans under the CARES Act, and seeing where they qualified and whether they can access some of those forgivable loans in a number of cases of our smaller clients. For our larger clients, and really all clients, there's some very generous NOL provisions that were put into place that allow our clients to use losses generated in a 21% environment and carry them back to pre-tax reform years and receive a 35% refund. This has become something that many of our clients are laser focused on, the ability to bring back cash through NOL planning and make the best out of a bad year is something our clients are very much focused on. The other thing that I've been talking to a number of companies about are their financing structures. Rod, it was just a year ago we're putting in financing structures between a UK multinational and its US sub to fund that debt. The US sub is paying deductible interest payments and reducing, perhaps they're reducing the tax base. At this time, a number of our clients no longer find that to be helpful. The US is having cash flow problems. So what they simply want to do is waive the debt. They may want to just contribute that debt to the capital. There are so many traps for the unwary that need to be considered, or else a simple debt waiver can result in cancellation of indebtedness income and turn what was meant to be an efficient plan into a very tax efficient plan. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing in the market is, for many years, a UK or any European multinational would acquire a US company that itself had non-US subsidiaries. Now that became quite of a burden. It's all known as the sandwich structure. And what was been popular over the years is what's known as out from under planning, as it's known, where we simply take those non-US subs of the US subsidiary and we just try to distribute those in some tax efficient way up to the European parent. Now, there is a tax cost to doing that type of transaction. There's ways to mitigate that. What we're seeing is, because of lower valuations of the subsidiaries, this is an opportunity that some tax directors are looking at to now make that distribution at a much lower tax cost. So finally, Rod, one of the things that we do in London is we help US multinationals with treasury planning. Many of US multinationals will have a European headquarter that may be in London, Netherlands, or somewhere else in Europe. And that will oftentimes act as a centralized cash pooling. There are many treasurers of US multinationals that have been accelerating their cash pooling planning, have difficulty accessing funds around the globe, having to access bank accounts from different jurisdictions. They are now looking to pool cash with as many jurisdictions as possible so that there's one source of cash that they can access when necessary to do so. We're assisting with making sure that goal, that efficient structure, doesn't become tax efficient, making sure that the proper documentation is in place. If that entity is doing hedging, that the proper identification requirements are there, and otherwise making sure that there's no withholding tax or other drag that may occur in those kind of structures.
Gosh, so just a lot in terms of helping clients restructure their operations, and access to cash and liquidity. No wonder you're keeping so busy these days, Howard. Even as the M&A market slows down, just a lot of other things going on today.
Yeah, no, our clients have not stopped. It's in some respects, I think we're speaking more like we are today by Zoom than we were before the crisis. There's been absolutely no slowdown in the thinking, the planning, the creativity that we're seeing from our clients in really trying to make sure that their companies come out stronger after this pandemic is done.
Just fascinating. And that point on treasury centers with everyone's laser-like focus on liquidity, that's a good reminder that there's an opportunity out there just for treasurers to make their lives simpler. Well, thank you very much for your time, Howard. That was very illuminating. Thank you.
Thank you, Rod. Be well.